So the recording has finally started. So first of all,
Okay.
congratulations. How does it
Thank you
feel?
so much, sir. Thank you.
How does it feel to be here?
I am relieved because I was very worried that I don't know what is going to happen next. So the part is done from my side. Next, let's see what is going to happen next. But the big thing is that I have achieved the tough part for now, so I'm quite relieved. Yeah.
I think this is the only part that is tough. Afterward, it's all the responsibility of the agent you're going to hire. And be
Yeah.
careful with that also. You know
Yeah.
how the things are.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
as I said when the recording was off, as in we will not send out any wrong message like these classes are the best or no classes are
Mhm.
the best. I have never taken any credit for your success. I have never,
Mhm.
the day your result came out, another result was there. The girl's name is Jasmine, and she also scored a band eight, as in it was two
Okay.
band eights on a day, and I was very happy.
Okay.
I know, as in, I would say 95% it was you guys, 5% it was me because I was the guide.
Mhm. Right.
So let's, as in, see the glory first. So this was just me. She was an academic student. I asked her
Okay.
to participate with us, but she's busy with some domestic
Okay.
uh, ceremony. But
Okay.
and yours is quite similar. The difference is that you are a GT student, and still it's, I think, marvelous. So first of all, Niyamat, as in, I want to eliminate that myth that classes are the reasons behind scores, and because I've seen people going gaga over their students getting a band six also, and they would
Mhm.
put up results like, oh, band six, join my classes right now, and limited seats available
Yeah.
when there are
Yeah.
30 students in a class, and
Yeah. Right.
it's very, I would say, wrong, or perhaps it's giving that force to populism. You are serving something that is very delusional. Students are going to be
Right.
blind afterward, as in they will just hope onto the maybe tuition center. But let's have a look at your journey first of all, like how you became so good at English.
Actually, I think you remember during our classes that I mentioned you that English was always a very interesting subject for me, and I was quite very interested in it from the beginning. And when my friends or my parents tested me to give an IELTS exam, so I thought that okay, I think it is going to be a good. Opportunity for me to again go through all the again going through all the practice and indulging myself into this subject because I as I'm a medical student and I didn't get much chance to explore this subject. So first, like, giving the IELTS exam was quite a good opportunity for me to having to invest my time in English. Now, my parents also cannot tell me that no, you should not do it. You should focus on your subjects. So now it was quite the opposite. They were forcing me to, invest my time in this subject. So yeah, so it was like that. It was a great opportunity for me, and
Niyamat, okay,
it yeah, yeah.
do you remember the day we got connected? I think it was through Kanan, and
Yeah, it was through Kanan. Yeah,
it
in the
was
month
through,
of January, I guess. Yeah,
we got connected in January. Okay.
yeah,
And
yeah, right.
because you were very busy with your, I think, work also at that point,
Yeah,
and the
yeah, yeah.
classes were quite
Yes.
irregular. Though you used to
Yeah.
do, a lot of stuff, but you had your job pressures, and me also, like I
Mm,
was also a rank outsider to this field, as in I
yeah.
had been teaching the MBA guys, like Kanan was an MBA student. So
Mm,
I was
right.
I was also a rookie at that point. I was holding my things together. I was taking my exams also side by side, and I was teaching you guys two at a time. And
Yeah.
things were quite, I would say, topsy turvy at that point, and nothing was very, I would say, organized. But still, we used to
Yeah.
communicate a lot. Still, we used to work on the English part and the IELTS part.
Mm, mm.
Do you think, if you had not had your previous experience and previous acumen in English, you would have been able to pass this exam?
Uh, I feel that, yeah, because I had some previous interest in that subject, so it was quite easy for me, I think, as compared to other students. Because during our classes also, I used to feel that other students, they take a lot of pressure, while studying this subject, because they feel that English is a very difficult language, because we are not, we are not used to speak it in our homes every day. As our mother tongue is Punjabi, and we are also in our schools, or
Mhm.
in our in our colleges, we prefer to speak in Punjabi or Hindi. So I feel people or other students during, especially in our classes, they were quite. I felt that they were very pressurized in learning this language, because they didn't have any interest in that, and they were just doing for the sake of the IELTS exam, as they have to move to Canada. But because I had previous interest, and I had previous knowledge of this subject, so it was easier for me as compared to others, I would say.
Easier, I would agree with, as in, I think
Yeah.
in your first or second class only, I had told you that you would get a
Hmm.
band 7.5 in speaking, band
Hmm.
7.5 or a band 8. And that has happened,
Hmm.
as in that is
Yeah.
nothing that has surprised me or, you know, taken me aback. But if you see, as you said, you are a medical student. Of course, you are good at English. You
Right.
are good at the, I would say, the general perception of English. But there
Hmm.
are some esoteric elements. There are some elements that an English teacher would know, but not
Hmm.
but not a student who is good at English. Like the
Yeah.
kind of grammar I know, you will not know.
Hmm.
The kind of
Yeah. Right.
vocabulary
Right.
I know,
Exactly.
you will not know. Still, you
Yeah.
have been able
Yeah.
to score on a par with me. I was a band 8.5 student. You are a band 8 student. So that proves
Yeah.
another thing, that you do not have to be, very glittery with your English. You do not have to have every kind of grammar knowledge or every kind of vocabulary element so as to sail through this exam, which is again a big, I think, burden on the minds of the students, that they have to, they cannot use many, but they have to use myriad. They cannot use today, they have to use in the contemporary era. So those kinds of
Right.
things, did you use anything of that sort in your exam?
No, no, because I had this advice from you that, Yamat, please don't use any wide range of vocabulary, and that gets complex for you or complicated for you. So I kept it very simple, not very simple, I would say. It was very a medium range of vocabulary which I used. And I would like to share an incident with you that I met with a friend of mine. She is giving an academic exam for IELTS. So she told me that her trainer has advised her to use, read these 10 words every day for to, increase her knowledge in vocabulary. And she told me that, it gets difficult to learn new words every day. And the vocab she was using, it was too difficult, because we don't use it in a regular, day-to-day conversations. So then during the exam, she said that I couldn't remember anything, and her trainer told her that while writing or while speaking, you should have a very wide range of vocab, because it adds, extra point. But then I told her that it's nothing like that. You just need to have a good knowledge of vocabulary, so that you can have a good conversation like we are having with each other, so that, the other people who for whom then maybe the mother tongue is English, they are able to understand you, and you are able to understand them. So I think that's the funda behind it.
Yeah,
But
and
no, I didn't use
again,
any vocab.
yours, as in, even when we used to have a bad class or something, we
Yeah.
were also kind of coming to that conclusion that you were tired or I was tired, maybe
Yeah.
because there used to happen some days when your speaking was not that good. But I used to say, in the worst case scenario, it's a band 7. In the worst case scenario,
Yeah.
it's a band 7. And with your writing also, I think initially they were a bit haphazard, when you were not writing proper paragraphs, or you were, mixing ideas and all that. You worked on, I think, eventually, and the result is in front of us. uh, Again, I would want you to comment on this thing, that do you think without my classes you would have been unable to get this score? Be honest.
Yeah, I'll be very honest, because when I met you and we started having the classes, so I remember that you shared with us the official, I think, the rule list, how IDP gives the band, how the bands are calculated, how the bands are given. So I think I didn't have any idea about that. So I didn't have any general idea that what's the pattern for IELTS. And if I would have gone to any other tutor or anything, so they would have put some wrong ideas in my mind, that that there's this one more friend of mine, I would like to share with you, that she told me that her trainer told that if you are given a cue card and you don't know anything about that, you can ask them to change the cue card. But this was one thing that you told during our classes, that you should never ask them, and you shared this official video from the IELTS IDP on their Instagram page, that if you are not aware of the cue card, anything in the cue card, this is what you should do. So I think that kind of knowledge I would not have got.
Okay.
And yeah, so yeah, I'll be very honest that it would have been difficult for me to pass this exam if I would not have met you and your guidance. Yeah.
Not in that context did I ask the question,
Mm.
but I'm very grateful for your
Mm.
kind words. The thing is that I'm commenting on the English level that is required. After
Okay.
my
Okay.
Josh
Okay.
talk, many students come to me thinking that I will change their lives in maybe 1 month or 2 months. As in,
Hmm.
I have never said that I am the magician here, or I can improve your vocabulary or your grammar
Right.
or your English in general in a jiffy. I'm saying, given the right guidance, given the official material, you would have been able to pass the exam by yourself also. Like, I was not someone who uh, transformed your English by and large. I was someone who guided you through the actual things that you should
Mm.
follow these things to be able to take the exam, but the English was already with you. What
Yeah.
recommendations would you give to students who don't have the English, first of all, who have to have the English first and then they can have the right IELTS trainer to make them sail through the exam? Yours was the
Yeah.
only, mine was the only part that I had to make you accustomed to the, I
Mm.
would say, norms of the exam. And you took it
Right.
very well. You were not of the kind that, oh, sir, the class ended 10 minutes earlier. Oh, as in, sir, you were not labor intensive, I would say. You were,
Mm.
as in, as they say, smart work is better than hard work. And
Yeah.
I have this thing with my students that if you miss a class, you can always keep the record and I will give it to you later. The missing can be on my part or your own part, because life is uncertain to anyone, and mishappenings
Right.
happen.
Right.
Don't
Right.
mind
Right.
me saying this. I think your father had some kind of trouble at that
Yeah.
point. No, he
Yeah.
was he
Yeah. Yeah.
was
Yeah.
sick.
He was not well. He was not keeping well at that time. Yeah. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
had
Right.
we, we had postponed the classes and all.
Yeah.
with
Yes.
with just me, what had happened, she had come to me, I think 6 months back perhaps. And when I had that scuffle with my company, and she had her exams and she said, sir, I cannot take the classes now. I said, it's okay, you come to me even after 2 years and I'll complete your classes. And that happened also. Like, after her exams, very many things happened. And I now, where I stand as a teacher is way higher than my position that was
Mm.
there at that point. She came to me, we had 10 or maybe 7 8 classes. And again, she was the one who had the English, by herself. I was not the encyclopedia who did
Mm.
fireworks in that department. So English,
Mm.
I think, is something that is, you have to have before you start preparing for IELTS. If you do
Right.
not,
Right.
if you do not have that amount of English, then you should not be going just by the exam norms and taking it, because it's going to be unfruitful at the end. Nothing of that sort is going to happen, that you're able to, you know I think 1 month is gone into just knowing and getting comfortable with the exam only. And
Right. 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 I
knowing
agree.
English simultaneously is impossible. Do you agree with me on this?
Right. Yeah, I agree. But then I also have to agree that the way you used to, teach us during the classes, I like to mention that you make sure that we practice basic grammar as well. So because there were students with us that who were not very good with the prepositions and the
Hmm.
basic grammar, the nouns, pronouns, and everything. So I think what I would suggest is that whosoever is giving the exam now, they should first of all need to understand where they stand. So it should not be like that they think that okay, we are very good in grammar, because usually I think students from CBSE schools, they have this perception that okay, we have studied English till our 12th class, so I think we're very good in English and we're good in grammar. But then during our classes also I realized that no, I think I'm just good in basic grammar, but then you used to teach few things that and tips and tricks and some advanced grammar. So then I got to know that no, you should have this knowledge as well before giving the exam. So that part also helped. But then I would also agree that having a good knowledge of English is very important before applying for this exam. Then only the tutor can help you and tutor can guide you, and then you can be on the right path. So yeah.
And I think, this hula baloo regarding IELTS, an industry has been created out of this very simple exam. There are
Yeah,
way more difficult exams out there. There's the GMAT, there's the
true.
GRE, there is the CPE that I took a few, I would say,
Yeah,
weeks back.
yeah, yeah, also, yeah.
But in Punjab and I think in Gujarat also, the thing is that
Hmm.
this IELTS phenomenon has been blown out of proportion, and mostly because there is a lot of you know pomposity associated with this language in our country, and especially in Punjab. If you
Hmm.
know English, you perhaps are you know equal to Brad Pitt. So
Right. Right.
no, not I, but
True.
you. Okay,
No, no.
so
But yeah,
so
you're right. Yeah.
how
Hmm.
do you think this this false notion of knowing English and being the perhaps Thanos can be eliminated, as in especially on YouTube where those thumbnails IDP released this. Even when I had that issue with Chris,
Hmm.
it was
Yeah.
a kind of problem where he tried to manipulate me, thinking
Hmm.
that I would not know the basics of grammar, or I would not know how certain things can be written in other ways also. Like
Hmm.
he tried to
Hmm.
manipulate an Indian using
Hmm.
English. But I
Yeah.
was again not that underconfident that I would just succumb to his maybe the bubble he has created, like the
Yeah.
he's the his that banner, YouTube banner states the best IELTS course in the world. It could be, I do not
Yeah.
have any problem with that. I have my share of fortune. The thing is that you cannot manipulate anyone. You should not manipulate
Right.
anyone just because you have something. And being an English person, you should not be proud of knowing English. First of all, are we proud of knowing
Right.
Punjabi? No.
No.
So that
Yeah.
narcissism I had challenged. It was not
Yeah.
I wanted to earn fame through his channel. I had already had
Hmm.
my, I had,
Yeah.
I think I have grown by myself a lot in the last year when I that India Book of Records, Joe Talks, then my exams
Right.
repertoire and all.
Right.
So I am
Right.
happy with my own efforts, and I'm
Right.
giving that time to my students. Like nobody teaches two students at a time and by himself. They have
Right.
tutors,
Yeah.
afterward they have teachers for certain batches, and I have not done that. I have
Hmm.
not given my students
Hmm.
to anyone. how do you
Right.
think how do you think students can be given the real picture? Like this is not the thing. No center can help you. Your own center, I think, can help you, and you have to be very careful in your approach. You are, there when I was in Chandigarh, a center I got to know was charging 22,000 rupees per month for IELTS training. Do you think
Yeah. Right.
this do you
It's very
think this
common. Yeah.
do you think this exam deserves that, first of all?
No, no, because first of all, the fees for the exam itself, it's very expensive. It's around 16,000,
Yeah.
and I think those who are able to pass 12th boards on their own, it's not a big deal for them to pass this exam on their own. And but see, the normal perception is that IELTS is very tough,
Yeah.
and it's you cannot achieve six bands. See, I feel the rumors are there which are spread by these big IELTS centers, and then they make it so difficult for students. The picture they show to them, it's like the reading is very difficult for the academic students, and you need to have these tips and tricks for achieving this kind of task. So I was very surprised on Instagram. I saw this thing, the predictions they are giving. So these can be the topics in the IELTS exam. So I thought that, oh my god, is it's not that difficult that you have to make easier for these students. And you should just go with the flow. And I think you have 24 hours in a day, and if you just give an hour or two to practice these exams, I think that's more than enough. That's more than enough. You have so much material online. You have so many test papers, mock test papers. And I think you just be good with that. So I think with the listening, I was having problems with my listening task. So what I did was I went to Google, and then I searched for this free IELTS tutor. They had this mock exams online, and then they were able to show you result at that time itself. So, and it was quite easy for me, and you have the results in front of you, and then where you should improve and where you are lacking and what you need to improve. So for example, if I'm weak in listening, the problem is with me, my concentration is weak, so I need to work on that. No IELTS tutor can just give me some medicine and then I'll be more concentrated or something. No, it's not like that.
The
Doesn't work.
problem with the listening failures is that at centers what happens is that whenever the audio is stopped, no, you don't get the sheets afterward. And if you remember, first of
Oh.
all, I think we started off with categories when I had started the classes
Hmm.
with you, that you
Hmm.
should do part 1 this day, you should do part 2 this day, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
the mistakes used to happen, I would say,
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, do it yourself first, have a fresh
Yeah.
state of mind, and then do it first yourself again, and then I will entertain
Yeah.
your doubts. I wanted you to become better, as in, had I given you everything, you wouldn't have been able to have everything right now. And people can die for a bandit, as in, especially in Punjab, they band eight, first of all, bands, which is the stupidest term ever.
Yeah.
it, they are levels: band one, band two.
Yeah.
What is bands?
Yeah.
You're not having all of them. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that
I'm
bandwagon.
tired of explaining this to everyone, so I'm like, okay, fine. So for
Yeah, yeah.
first of all, IELTS. So okay,
the
okay, okay,
the
fine.
problem
And
is
IELTS, they'll say who are already having these classes at their centers, and nobody. This is the first thing they should know that, okay, no, it's not IELTS, it's IELTS. So I don't know what's going wrong, and I really don't know. Yeah.
the commercialization. The problem is that
Yeah.
even students don't want to, uh, you know, walk on the right path. They would want to have the shortcuts, and also the glamour, the that sensationalization, like 50 synonyms that can change your IELTS exam.
Right,
None of
right,
them
right.
can.
I've seen so many, these thumbnails will be like that. Okay, so 5 days, score band 7. So I was like, what? I don't know. Is there kind of any medicine they are going to courier you or something? No, it's the harsh reality that you need to work on your own. Right. So
And
even if you're giving any other exam, even if it's any other subject, you need to work on your own. Your teacher can just guide you, or they can just correct your mistakes.
exactly.
Rest is,
And
it's all dependent on us.
unless they come to terms with this, they are not going to succeed. And I'll be very brutal here. It's not something, I have never you know cajoled someone into my classes. I've never
Hmm.
said, okay, come, I will change your life. I think
Hmm.
mostly it happens that I whenever I have been very straightforward with someone who was hoping for something miraculous, that person has
Hmm.
never enrolled into my classes. It has always been
Hmm.
a one time meet, and we don't see each other afterward. And there have been
Hmm.
a few, I won't lie. If I've taught about 50 students in my career, I think 50 IELTS students, then I
Hmm.
think 10 have also not joined my classes. As in, if I've interacted with 60 perhaps, then 10 have not
Hmm.
joined my classes, just because I had shown the mirror at the starting only. And why I
Yeah.
do so?
Yeah.
Because I think I've suffered a lot because of my teachers. Not only
Right.
the IELTS, the bad experiences
Hmm.
in IELTS, but before also, like, as I always say, had I been with my NCERTs only, I would have been a topper. I was
Hmm.
I was vacillating, I was oscillating between things, and that did the harm. Not that I was a bad student, not that I
Hmm.
was not hardworking enough. I think everybody is hardworking enough, but when you get
Yeah.
confused, you lose your cool, and then nothing
Right.
happens. So in the
Right.
last section of this video, I would want you to walk
Hmm.
us through your exam, as in how the listening test happened, how the reading test happened, how the writing happened, and how the speaking test happened. I will not. It will not take much. I would want
Yeah.
you to, take it yourself now.
Sure. So for me, I gave my exam on 23rd of July. So this time, the pattern was the writing part was in the beginning. Then I had the listening part and then the reading part. No, the reading and the listening part. Listening was at the end, I guess.
Yeah.
So the writing part, I scored 7, which I honestly I'm not satisfied because I
I got a
think I
7.5 in writing. Don't worry.
okay, okay, fine, yeah, then it's okay. Yeah. So the writing part.
Chris Pell, the snooty English person, also got a band. He got a band 8 in writing, and that too.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Never mind. Yeah.
seven is Gucci. Okay, start.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So in the task one is the general. No, I'm not. I see. I completely forgot what was my task.
Letter
So yeah, the
the
letter was there, and this letter was regarding this. I had to write a letter to a restaurant owner to reduce to request him to reduce the noise coming from its restaurant, something like. And it was very easy because we used to write these kind of letters during our
the
class school
Cambridge
days.
material.
So yeah, yeah. So then it was just the simple idea you need to put there, that what is the problem. And like I think this one advice I have already kept in my mind, that never go with the points, they might confuse you, which you told me. Write your own ideas, and never stuck with the ideas which they share with you on the paper.
No,
So
no,
I never look at the
that was
ideas.
for the speaking part, the cue card section
both
that you
both both both
in the
Actually, I think
letter.
it has helped me because I really got confused when I looked, because when I read the sorry, the letter, ideas started coming to my mind, but then I
Hmm.
wrote the need I looked at the point, so I got confused. Then I was like, no, 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 I'll write on my own. So yeah, it went well. And task 2 was sorry, it was related to that in some people, they tend to stay in the same jobs for a longer time, but some, they keep changing their jobs because they get bored or something like that. It was, so that was pretty easy because I am working in a corporate job, so I had an idea about this. So I just wrote, I think, 5 paragraphs, and I mentioned the points if I agree with the particular statement, or if I won't agree, and then what might be other people's opinion, why they don't tend to like this particular job or why they like this job. And then in the conclusion, I concluded my ideas. So then next was the reading, and I think I was quite confident with the reading because I enjoy the reading part the most, because you have the answers right next to you. They're right at the sheet, so you don't have to think at all, it's just there. So I think that is the most easiest part for me. The reading part, I got
I
the
think
headings. Yeah.
you must have completed it before the 1 hour was over.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
knew that.
Yeah. 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 So, and looking at other students who were sitting with me, they were so paranoid looking at their sheets. And then they were like, I should not say that, but, lots of students, they tend to cheat in the exam. I don't know how they are so confident on others that the other might give you the right answer.
I can share an anecdote here. A guy,
Yeah.
a guy was with me in one of my exams, and he was like, "Veeradas de, Veer Prani." First,
Yeah.
I am very insulated now, and I know how to ignore such things. But it was like he had made me a brother in 2 3 glimpses only, and he was actually very sure that I would risk my exam to help him. Nothing of that sort is going to
Right.
happen in this life for sure.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
you have such elements over there.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, because I was sitting just like that. I was like, I'm done now, what to do. Then the problem is that they, they'll make such puppy faces in front of you, and feel you need to they feel like you should sympathize with them or something like that, but no, that's now it happens. So reading part, I got the MCQ and everything, so it was quite easy for me. So I think in this part there was this problem with the last part, where this diagram was there and I had to label the parts. So that took a little bit more time for me as compared to the previous sections. But yeah, I think I was losing my focus while reaching towards the end of the exam. So but that was fine, that went well. And then during the listening part, I got and it was also, it went well. During the listening part, all I want to tell is that you need to stay focused from question 1 to question 40.
Yeah.
It's not like that you can lose your focus anytime, because if you lose focus even in one or two question, after reaching the second part, it takes a lot of time to come back and retain your focus again. So it gets difficult, right? So maintain your focus throughout. Just give me a second. Just give me.
No issues, no issues. Things of these sorts happen.
Yeah. So like I got confused. Lost my focus in the beginning, and then but I regained it I regained it immediately. But then I would like to like suggest this thing that please stay focused from question number 1 to question number 40, because each and every question is very important, and especially when you're aiming for a band 8 or band in my case, for example, in general training, you need to have a band 8 for general. So yeah, and practice well for the listening part, but practice also not only solving the question papers or mock tests, but I would suggest that having a good conversation with your family members or with your friends in English, and or watching good web series with a British accent, or I would say American accent also works, without subtitles. In the beginning you can start with the subtitles, but then later on you need to hear those series without looking at the subtitles, or that would really help you, I would say. So yeah, that part. And the speaking is very, like, speaking is my most favorite, because I love to talk, as you know that very well. So I'm an
You got
extrovert
a
person. So
you got a
I got
7.5 in speaking, no?
7.5. Yeah. So my examiner, she was not Indian. She was not Indian. I think she was. I'm not sure, but she was not Indian. So she had a huge smile on her face. So that boosted my confidence. But I remembered your suggestion that even if the person is not smiling at you, don't lose your confidence. So I had that thing in my mind. You
Can I
suggested me.
share
I
something
think.
here? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Sure.
I've scored an 8.5 twice in speaking, and both
Yeah.
times my examiners were
Huh.
like they had murdered someone before I entered the room. As in, they were like
Oh.
this, and I
Yeah.
was, and me being, I think, I would say a person who doesn't
Mm.
care about anything. I also sat like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Okay.
So it
Okay.
was a two-way battle over there, as in who frowns
Okay.
more. I
Oh.
said, okay, it's okay. You are a teacher at
Okay.
your place. I'm a teacher at my place.
Yeah. Yeah. No. 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 Yeah. So like I was prepared. So if the examiner is not smiling at me, or like, so I'm like, okay. No. No. I'm here to give my exam.
Yeah.
So let's just be done with it. And yeah. So she asked me my introduction, and I was very casual during my introduction. And the see the guidance which I got from you, how to give an introduction, like you should not keep it very small. You tend to talk there, because they want to know if you can be fluent, as yeah, you just have that
Keep
flow.
keep.
So
Yeah.
I just had my gave my introduction, and then they asked me a few questions about my personality and my likings, dislikings, and everything. So then they gave me the cue card. So my cue card was a piece of clothing that I got as a gift. That
Okay.
was my cue card. Yeah. So I think it's very easy to describe,
I
and as
think
you
that
told me that yeah.
that must have been, I would say, a role. Perhaps you must have had a ball over there, like a piece of clothing
Yeah.
and Niyamat Sahi. I think
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it
So
was
I
it
had
was
this thing
all
in mind.
Sabyasachi.
Yeah. No, 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 no. So look, at that time nothing Sabyasachi or something like that came into my mind. So, and then yeah, I didn't read the points on the cue card, like what were the extra points that they shared. No, because I didn't want that to restrict my ideas. So as you told me that you don't need to care about 1 minute, uh, that restriction should not be there in your mind. So you should keep talking until they tell you to stop. So
Exactly.
I wrote my notes, and I shared with them that there was this piece of clothing which my grandmother gifted me before she passed away. So I talked on that piece of clothing which she gifted me. So I explained what that looked like, or what was the stuff it was made of, and why was it special to me, and do I use it every day, or how do I wear it with other clothes and what and things like that. So then I think I spoke for more than a minute or two. So then she stopped me and it's done. And then she asked me questions related to that cue card. And yeah, and then here she asked me, I would like to share it with you, that she asked me about art, paintings, drawings, and everything. So me being not a very artistic student or very not a non-artistic person, so I got a bit, I panicked
Hmm.
because I thought that okay, I don't know, does she want me to have a conversation, like if she wants me to tell that oh I am an artistic person, and if she's going to ask me some questions about art or specific questions about art. So I told her in the beginning when she asked me if you like art. I was like, no, I am a very academic student, as I was not very interested in extracurricular activities during my school days. But then all the questions were related to art. But then it was not like that they wanted me to answer specifically about any painting from any famous artist. It was nothing like that. So you don't need to panic if there's a topic which you don't like or which you don't have any information about. It's okay to talk about anything which is very I
You
think
just have to talk. That's
related.
all.
Yeah,
That's all.
that's it. Even if you share an incident where art is involved or art is related, that is also I think enough. They just need to have you to have a conversation. So I think that helped me. Yeah.
Even if I consider myself zero point 0.5 ahead of you and Jasmine,
Yeah.
that is just
Yeah.
because I think I know more words. My lexical
Right.
resource might be better than yours, and
Right.
that made the difference. 7.5 you, Jasmine band 8, speaking I'm talking
Right.
about, and
Right.
8.5 me. That is just because
Right.
of that. And I had told you at the beginning only that if we worked on
Hmm.
this, it would take longer.
Hmm.
Knowing
Right.
vocabulary is something, incorporating it into your English is, you know it is a it is a subsequent stage of knowing the vocabulary. So if you want to work
Right.
on that, it will take longer. But with your current
Yeah.
levels only, you girls can rock over there, and you know whatever is there, it is now history. As in, you have proven
Yeah.
yourself, she has proven herself, and I think it's you know superb that you've gotten a band 7.5 in speaking, and she an 8, and both of you an 8 overall. I think I couldn't
Thank you.
have asked for more as a teacher, and I think you also like uh, must be happy and all.
Yeah, I'm happy, and as I told you in the beginning, that I'm relieved because I had this pressure from my job as well, and I was not able to balance it in a very proper way. So yeah, the burden is off. So I'm happy.
At the
Yeah.
end, I would not say anything of that sort. Best of luck, all the best. You already have a lot going for you. Just that I would say, if you are interested in English, no, IELTS is not the end. Just keep
Right.
working on it. As in, I have felt that some exams are way more difficult than IELTS, and
Hmm.
I think taking
Right.
exams is a good way of improving your skills. So keep
Right.
working on your English, keep making it better, but without any pressures, without any kind of perhaps shortcuts, and you're already near the pinnacle, but it will keep going far away as you proceed toward it. So don't stop the
Right.
walk, I would say. Keep talking.
Yes. Yes. I won't. Thank you so much. Thank you.
See you.